Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here. This is going to be a contest entry to check out this username, Sakblabbath, which is pretty awesome. Sakblabbath65, I think, is his full username. But someone here in the VC that I've never actually met or stumbled across his channel, but Metal Ron did a response video to his contest, and so I caught Metal Ron's video and kind of followed that back to Sack Blab at 65's channel. So just want to kind of jump on board because Jimmy is Jimmy, and I'm all about paying my respects to the greatest guitarist of all time. But yeah, I guess it's Hendrix's birthday is coming up, I think, towards the end of this month. So he's kind of doing a contest to honor, again, the one and only, baby, Mr. Hendrix. So three kind of simple, right to the point type of questions. So let's just kind of jump right in. I think the first one was, what's your favorite Hendrix song? Which, God, that barrel to pull from. Which it never ceased to amaze me that as short of a time period, just a few years that Hendrix recorded, there's so much stuff by him out there, which is kind of awesome. But I'm actually somewhat cliche because when it comes to my favorite Hendrix songs, my runner up, I would have to say, is Machine Gun. That's probably my second favorite Hendrix song. Um, just the way that he captures the entire essence of war between the way he plays, the song, the lyrics, the whole nine. Every time I hear that song, I can't help but think of anything but Vietnam. That's the only thing I hear when he plays that song. So that's my runner up. But I have to say my favorite song is maybe even more cliche, which is off of this album right here, and it's Voodoo Child. Again, and it's of course Electric Ladyland. Um, really outside of maybe Purple Haze and All Along the Watchtower, Voodoo Child may be like one of the most mainstream cliche type of Hendrix songs, but man, that song just never loses its power and its punch. Like every time I listen to it, it's almost like I'm hearing it for the first time again. And again, Jimmy has done so much stuff, and there's so many different amazing things that he's done on the rock side, the blues side, the more psychedelic side, and blah blah blah. But the song starts off with a guitar solo, then the first verse, but then that guitar solo at the end of the first verse. That is the best guitar solo of all time, in my opinion. And the way he just bends those notes and just like takes them to just these beautiful places, man. Hendrix is just, you know. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite song is Voodoo Child. So that's gonna be my favorite. The next question was your favorite. Oh, good. I still pulled up over there actually. Your favorite cover of a Jimi Hendrix song, and I guess too, maybe I took that question wrong when I was looking for albums because it's not. I don't know. I don't know if you're asking somebody else covered a Hendrix song, what's your favorite, or all the songs that Hendrix covered, what's your favorite cover that he did? And so I think I might have taken it the wrong way, but I'm taking it from my favorite song that Jimi Hendrix covered, and that for me would actually be off of this album. Sorry about the glare there. Maybe is that better? Yeah, it's a little better. And this is Jimi Hendrix live at Monterey. Definitely one of my top 5 favorite live albums. And it's he covered so much stuff, Bob Dylan stuff and everything else. And actually, it is a Bob Dylan song. It's Like a Rolling Stone, his cover of Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. I just think that song is it's perfect. Every time I hear that song, it just always kind of reminds me, or it shows me what Jimmy saw in Dylan. It's almost like with what Bob Dylan did, I can understand what Jimmy was seeing that made him cover so many of his songs in the way that he did, and that song more than All Along the Watchtower and everything else is just something about Like a Rolling Stone. Man, He went to his place. So that's my favorite cover that Jimi Hendrix did. And then the last question was favorite guitarist besides Hendrix. And again, that's one of those big questions. And you know, there's people like that I have to mention, um, like Isley from the Isley Brothers. I mean, if there was a reincarnation of Hendrix, he would definitely be one of the people you would have to think maybe there's some Jimmy spirit that came back inside of him. Um, I mean, yeah, we can be going on. I mean, that's all kind of great guitar players. But the one I'm going to go with, maybe kind of a shock, is Neil Young. I'm going to say overall, he might be my favorite guitar player after Hendrix. And again, not because if you took one song, like, because again, if you went to, like, you know, Isley and, you know, said you have one song to do your thing, and Neil, you have one song to do your thing, Isley would probably smoke him, in my opinion. But what Neil, well, I say Neil's probably my other favorite guitar player is because Neil can do so many things on the guitar that other artists just could not keep up with him over the span of a career. I mean, most artists are not going to be able to do a a keep on rocking in the free world, and then they're not going to be able to go to a, you know, hey hey my. They're not going to be able to go to a country type of comes a time, and then go to a freaky experimental thing like sample and hold. I mean, and then, you know, even over to like Ramada Inn on, you know, psychedelic pill. I mean, Neil is just all over the place, and he does that, and it's incredible music, incredible guitar playing. He's like, I don't care. You want classic rock? Fine. You want experimental stuff? Fine. You want psychedelic? Fine. You want country? Fine. Whatever it is, I'll just nail the crap. You know what I mean? That's basically Neil. And so, in light of that, you know, and then getting into stuff like Cinnamon Girl, I mean, you can just make a list with Neil Young's greatness across the board. And let's not forget the work that he did in, you know, Springfield, or the work that he did with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And I mean, genius. He's just a freaking genius. So that's why I picked Neil Young as my other favorite guitar player. So yeah, there you go, man. Like I said, three kind of nice, simple questions. It's been a while since I made a video only 7-8 minutes long. So congratulations on the contest, and I say hope it goes well. And we'll talk to you soon, VC.